Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Snap Lab. I am so glad you are here for this special session. Today, we are leaving the noise of the world behind to step into a story that is peaceful, quiet, and a little bit mystical. This story is called The Girl in the River. It is a treasure for English learners because it is filled with vibrant adjectives and nature vocabulary. Instead of a fast plot, this story focuses on sensory language, words that describe exactly what we see, hear, and feel. By the end of this long version, you will be able to describe a forest or a river with much more detail. So, take a deep breath, imagine the scent of pine trees, and let's begin. Deep in the heart of a vast and ancient valley, there was a winding river. The water was not a simple blue, it was a shimmering emerald green, so clear that you could see the speckled trout swimming near the bottom. The river moved with a graceful rhythm, flowing over smooth gray stones and under the leaning branches of massive willow trees that dipped their leaves into the cool current. Every morning, a young man named Elian walked down a narrow dirt path to reach the riverbank. Elian was an artist, a painter. He loved the tranquil atmosphere of the woods. Tranquil is a beautiful word that means deeply calm and quiet. He would find a comfortable spot on the mossy ground, set up his wooden easel, and try to capture the faint morning light on his canvas. The forest was never truly silent. It was alive with 1,000 delicate sounds. Elian often heard the soft rustle of leaves as a squirrel jumped between branches. He heard the melodic song of a hidden bird and the constant, soothing hum of the water. The air was cool and misty, smelling of damp earth, fresh rain, and wild pine. One afternoon, while the sun was casting long, golden shadows across the water, Elian saw something that made him stop breathing. A girl was standing in the middle of the river. But she was not swimming, and she was not wading. She was standing perfectly still on the undulating surface of the water, as if it were a solid glass floor. She wore a translucent dress, meaning you could almost see through it, that looked like it was woven from the morning fog. Her hair was long and silvery, floating around her head in graceful waves, even though there was no wind to move it. Elian stayed motionless. He felt breathless with wonder. He didn't want to make a sound because he didn't want to frighten her. She was the most ethereal being he had ever seen. Ethereal is an advanced adjective we use to describe something so light, delicate, and beautiful that it seems to belong to another world, like heaven or a dream. The girl slowly turned her head toward him. Her eyes were vast and crystalline, like two deep mountain lakes reflecting a summer sky. She didn't speak with words, but Elian felt a warm sensation in her heart. She pointed a slender hand toward a hidden path, almost entirely covered by a thick curtain of tangled ivy. Elian blinked, and for a second he looked at the path. When he turned his eyes back to the river, it was empty. The girl was gone. There was only a gentle ripple on the green water and the distant, echoing sound of a soft laugh. He followed the girl's direction and pushed through the heavy ivy. Behind it, he discovered a secluded meadow. It was an enchanted place, filled with vivid wildflowers, deep purples, bright yellows, and radiant reds. In the very center of the meadow sat an old, weathered stone. It was covered in velvety green moss. Carved into the stone was a single, powerful word: protect. Elian understood then, the girl was the spirit of the river, a mystical guardian of this pristine valley. Pristine means pure, clean, and completely untouched by humans. He didn't paint the river that day. Instead, he made a silent promise to keep the forest safe. From that day on, the river seemed even more luminous, and Elian was never lonely in the peaceful woods again. What a beautiful, quiet journey. Stories like this help us connect our emotions to our English vocabulary. Before we go, let's look at what we actually practiced in this long session. Nature vocabulary. You learned specific terms like riverbank, willow trees, meadow, ripple, and ivy. Sensory adjectives. We used visual words like shimmering, luminous, and translucent. Tactile, touch, words like velvety, mossy, and weathered. And sound words like melodic and faint. Advanced descriptors. You practiced using words like ethereal or worldly, tranquil, calm, and pristine, pure. Atmospheric narrating. We practiced how to use a slow, steady pace to create a mood in English. Thank you for practicing your English today at English Snap Lab. This was a long session, but your vocabulary is now much more radiant. Tell me in the comments, if you could visit any nature setting, would it be a tranquil forest or a vast ocean? Use 2 adjectives to describe it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this Snap lesson. Until next time, stay curious and keep practicing. Bye for now.